here we have, I'm going to talk about 7 ranks. If I knew that, yeah, so I guess, so Stephen, yeah, this will be, so let's do, I'm going to do my little on Trail to Ego, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to say, Stephen, would you come up here? Something like that. That's where I'm going to pull you up here, so you're going to talk about right this way you want. Ladies and gentlemen, Troop 80 Scoutmaster, Steve Mason.
Good evening, everybody. I'd like to welcome you to our Eagle Court of Honor for Stefan and Franklyn. This is a true honor, yet again, to have another group of boys come across as Eagle Scouts. I can't tell you how amazing it is to watch these boys grow up and go through the path, and I'm honored to be with them through their journey to Eagle. It really is amazing. The time and effort that they put into everything they do is incredible. You guys, other than the parents, really have no idea what goes into it. It's a lot of work, a lot. For the parents too, trust me. With that, I'm not gonna take too much time because there's a lot to go on and these boys have worked really hard, so I'd like to hand it over.
All right, everybody, good evening and welcome. Will our Scout escorts please bring in the parents of Stefan Grueneis, and then I think the order is Franklyn Falby's parents, front and center to our stage. Okay. And will our Scout escorts please bring in Stefan Grueneis and Franklyn Falby. Great. As Troop 80 is a boy-led troop, which means the adults only think that they are in charge, it is fitting that our senior patrol leader, which is the highest ranking, highest leadership role in the troop, Steve Mason, behind me, come forward and get this evening's event started. As is done with every Court of Honor, we're going to start with the presentation of the colors. Stephen.
Color guard, present the colors. Color guard, forward face. May everyone please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Scouts, may everyone please join me in the Scout Oath. On my honor, I would do my duty to God and my country, to obey the Scout law, to help with the people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. May you all also please join me in the Scout Law. A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. Color guard, post the colors. Color guard, return to your seats. Color guard, you may be seated.
Okay. Is Reverend Gary Tankard in the house? Reverend, would you please join us and begin our evening with an opening prayer?
God, Creator, Savior, Comforter, who has given us the gift of the Eagle Scout to make real, through the 13 merit badges, the ideals expressed in the United States Constitution of global, national, and community citizenship. Look on our celebration this night on the lives of these two Eagle Scouts, Franklyn and Stefan, who have struggled mightily to make real for us the ideals of Eagle Scouting. May they continue through their lives the great work of caring, fellowship, and service. We thank you especially for their parents, family, and community who gave birth and nourished these two young men who represent the best of our young manhood. We make this prayer in the name of your great love, O Lord, for us. Amen.
There are 7 Scouts, please come up. Mayor Scout Rank Scout, please step forward and read your card.
You have entered Boy Scouts. You have won the Scout Oath, Scout Law, Scout Motto, Scout Sign, Salute, and Handshake. The Scout Badge represents the first step to achieving your goals.
Thank you. Mayor Tenderfoot Scout, please step forward and read the Tenderfoot card.
Tenderfoot requirements offer a taste of the great adventures in scouting and give you the basic skills you'll need to begin taking part in those adventures. You have learned to tie knots and improve your physical fitness. Your activities in scouting will become more challenging and rewarding.
Thank you. Mayor Second Class Scout, please step forward and recite the Scout second class card. Sorry.
To earn second class, a scout must learn how to use a map and compass, how and when to build a campfire, and to safely use pocket knives and wood tools. Second class scouts have proven their abilities in camping, first aid, swimming, and other scout skills.
Thank you. Mayor First Class Scout, please step forward and read the first class card.
The founder of Scouting, Lord Brandon Powell, said that all Scouts should earn first class. Now you have tested yourself even more. You have tried greater adventures and practiced your Scout skills many times. With the confidence and knowledge you now have, people will expect more of you and you will expect more of yourself. You are prepared to be more of a leader in your patrol, your troop, and your community.
Thank you. Mayor Star Rank Scout, please step forward and read the star card.
As you earn your star rank, you have more freedom to choose the directions that interest you. The focus shifts from basic scout skills to earning the first 6 merit badges you will need for Eagle. Requirements now include service to others. The star rank also requires the scout to be active in his troop for at least 4 months. Of course, he may take longer if you wish. In addition, the star scout must serve his troop in a position of leadership for at least 4 months and take part part in at least one service project.
Thank you. Mayor Life Rank Scout, please step forward and read the life card.
The life rank is one of the rarest ranks. This is the first rank before Eagle. You can complete your Eagle rank now in as few as 6 months. We congratulate you and encourage you to reach for that next step. You have earned more than half of the merit badge required for Eagle. The life rank also requires a scout to be active in the troop for at least 6 months, serve in his troop as a position of leadership for 6 months, and take part in at least one service project.
Thank you. Mayor Eagle Scout, please step forward and read the Eagle card.
Though the eagle is found throughout the world, he is never found in abundance. He is always rare. The Eagle rank is Scouting's highest award. Only 2 out of 100 will reach Eagle Scout. As an Eagle Scout, you have the ability to be a leader of like-minded individuals that uphold a creed and a sacred oath. Eagle Scout is not a patch, an award, or a certificate to hang up on your wall. It is a way to live your life. The Trail to Eagle is hard work, but there is so much more to it. The Eagle is an education. It is a chapter in your life. The Eagle is a symbol of what a young man has done as well as what the young man will do and will become.
Thank you. You may all be seated.
Moving right along. Yes. We'll move now to the presentation of the Eagle Medal. So I'm now going to ask Bennett Rosner to come up here. And this is a very serious part of our Court of Honor, so I know that Bennett can be counted on to give what is called the charge to the Eagle Scouts.
Stefan and Franklyn, will you please stand up?
You can all remain seated.
Yeah.
Be comfortable.
The Boy Scouts of all nations constitute one of the most wholesome and significant movements in the world's history. You are very fortunate to have been counted among the highest rank in its membership. Your position, as you well know, is one of honor and responsibility. You are now a marked man. As an Eagle Scout, you have assumed a solemn obligation to your duty to God, to your country, to your fellow Scouts, and to mankind in general. This is a great undertaking. As you live up to your obligations, you bring honor to yourself and to the brotherhood of Scouting. When you fail, you bring down by so much the good name of all true and worthy Scouts. Your responsibility goes beyond your fellow Scouts, to your country and your God. America has many good things to give to you and your children after you, but these good things depend for the most part on the quality, character, and leadership abilities of her citizens. You are to help America in all that she needs most. She has a great past. You are here to make her future greater. I charge you to undertake your citizenship with a solemn dedication. Be a leader, but lead only towards the best. Lift up every task you do and every office you hold to the highest level of service to God and to your fellow men. Inspire yourself as well as others who know you to live a fine life of honor. We have too many who use their strength and their brains to exploit others and to gain selfish ends. I charge you to be among those who dedicate their skills and ability to the common good. Build America on the solid foundations of clean living, honest work, unselfish citizenship, and reverence for God. And whatever others may do, you must leave behind you a record of which every Scout may be justly proud. If the candidates are willing to accept this responsibility and obligation as well as the honor of the badge, then we most cordially welcome them into the ranks of the Eagle Scouts. Let the real meaning of the Eagle Badge always stand forth in your heart and mind. Candidates, if you are ready to accept these responsibilities, please signify by standing, which you already did for a long time, so you're very ready, I suppose. Parents, please stand behind them. Stefan and Franklyn, I charge you to enter this Eagle Scout Brotherhood, holding ever before you, without reservation, the ideals of honor and service. By the reputation of the Eagle Scout promise, and before your fellow Scouts, you will become an Eagle Scout. Thank you.
Thank you, Bennett. So that's a high bar, what Bennett just said. Setting a role model, not just for these last 7 years or so that these guys have been in the troop, but to leave behind them a record of which every other scout must be proud, or will be proud. So, we are now all witnesses to this oath, to everything that Bennett just said. And I'm going to ask that all Eagle Scouts present with us this evening please stand. Excellent. So Eagles, we are going to reform. This is kind of the group hug from the audience. Because I'm going to ask you guys to help me help Stefan and Franklyn by reaffirming the Eagle Oath. Are we ready? Are we up to the task? Scott Desmond. Where's Mark Cicagliano? Oh, there we are. Okay. Scott, good to see you. Okay. Everybody, Scout sign, or us Eagle Scouts, and repeat after me. I reaffirm my allegiance.
I reaffirm my allegiance.
They have to go loud. Stefan and Franklyn, one more time. Project. I reaffirm my allegiance.
I reaffirm my allegiance.
Maybe we need the record. To the three promises of the Scout Oath,
To the three promises of the Scout Oath,
I thoughtfully recognize
I thoughtfully recognize
and take upon myself
and take upon myself
the obligations and responsibilities
the obligations and responsibilities
of the rank of Eagle Scout.
of the rank of Eagle Scout.
On my honor,
On my honor,
I will do my best
I will do my best
to make my life an example
to make my life an example
and my rank
and my rank
and my influence
and my influence
count strongly for better scouting
count strongly for better scouting
and for better citizenship
for better citizenship
in my community
in my community
and in all my contacts
and in all my contacts
with other people.
with other people.
To this pledge,
To this pledge,
to this I pledge
to this I pledge
my sacred honor.
my sacred honor.
Excellent. Well done, Scouts. Okay, it is now time. This is a leap of faith. You got the medals? Yeah? Okay. This is where they make a serious mistake and they trust me to pin the Eagle medal on their son's uniform. Stefan, looks good. Congratulations. There we go. Franklyn, congratulations. Let the record show no scout was harmed. Okay. Let's see. So, the boys have requested that the immediate past scoutmaster, Christoph Grueneis, who happens to be with us this evening, present them with their Eagle neckerchiefs. So, by the authority vested in me through this Court of Honor, the Northern New Jersey Council, and the National Office of the Boy Scouts of America, it is my privilege and great pleasure to pronounce both of you, young gentlemen, Eagle Scouts. Very, very well deserved. Great job. Now, Franklyn and Stefan, you have a job to do. Somewhere up here, there are some eagle pins for your mothers. I don't know if you've rehearsed this, but if you would please present your mothers with their pins at this time, because everybody, the mothers have earned the rank of Eagle too, let me tell you. Photo op. Absolutely. Absolutely. Great job, guys. Now, Franklyn and Stefan, not to forget your fathers, I understand you have pins for your dads. So if you would please present your fathers with their eagle pins. And we are extremely fortunate to have with us this evening some grandparents. So, Scouts, if you would present your grandparents with their pins. Okay. Is Barbara Coleman in the house? Barbara, there you are. So Barbara Coleman is going to come up, and she's going to say a few words about Stefan's Eagle Project.
Hello, my name is Barbara Coleman. I'm Vice Chair of the Park Ridge Green Team. I'm here tonight to speak about the Eagle Scout project completed by Stefan this last year. Excuse me. As you may be aware, the Green Team has unofficially adopted the area surrounding Electric Lake on Mill Road. Over the past 7 years, the Green Team has implemented many projects to enhance the area and engage the community in the benefits of these projects. Though a lot of work has been put into the wildlife interaction plan, we had yet to implement some of the interaction parts of the plan. When Stefan approached us to see if he could work on something for the Green Team, it was a great opportunity to get those projects completed. Thankfully, Stefan agreed to take on the components of our plan that needed to be finished. Stefan was asked to design and have manufactured a sign to be installed at the rain garden. We asked that it explain the environmental benefits of a rain garden and that it also incorporate artwork created by Park Ridge High School art students for us in 2014. We provided Stefan with the name of the manufacturer we used for another sign and let him run with it. We are very pleased with the resulting product, but more importantly, we are pleased that Stefan was able to understand what we needed, did his own research on rain gardens, and independently worked with the manufacturer to deliver a sign we were extremely happy with. Stefan was also asked to create a database of the wildlife-friendly plants we installed at the lake and to also create tags to identify the plants by name. Each tag has a QR code for visitors to get more information about each plant. I understand Stefan led many work sessions during which he and his helpers researched the botanical names, ideal growing conditions, and more information about the plants, then uploaded it all to the Green Team database at plantmaps.com. Once the database was complete, Stefan ordered the tags, which were later installed on posts cemented in the ground by the scouts under Stefan's direction. Lastly, Stefan designed an introductory sign for the beginning of the walking path at the lake, which explains Stefan's project to visitors, and a QR code with a link to the Park Ridge Green Team's wildlife interaction plan. Stefan certainly rose to the challenges we presented to him during this project. His thoughtful consideration of our requests, his ability to translate our vision into the finished product, and his leadership skills in running his fundraising car wash, guiding other scouts through the USDA plant database, digging post holes, and installing each sign clearly demonstrates Stefan has rightfully earned this Eagle Scout Award. Thank you for your hard work, Stefan, and congratulations.
Thank you, Barbara. And that just gives you a little bit of an idea of everything that Stefan did as part of his Eagle project. Well, Frank, why don't, at the risk of hearing about it twice, which is fine by me, so Frank, why don't you come up and say a few words?
Good evening, and thanks for showing up. I don't have any prepared remarks, so I'm just speaking off the cuff of what Linda and I experienced from watching Franklyn and Dr. Sarah work on the project. However, before I start on that, I'd like to thank, as a parent, I'd like to thank the Scoutmasters who have helped Franklyn become an Eagle. Scoutmaster Dutcher, which was Franklyn's first Scoutmaster when he first started for a short period of time. Scoutmaster Holstrom, which I don't see here. Scoutmaster Grueneis, which was for the bulk of the time, and then Scoutmaster Masson, which was here at the end. Without them, without the other adults, the committee, the regional personnel, even the parents here in the audience, it could not have been done. So from Linda and I, please, once again, thank you very much. Now onto his Eagle project. Franklyn came on one day and told his mom he'd spoken to his, what is the term? The religious guidance? Campus, the director of campus ministry at St. Joe's, and he wanted to do a collection for a group called Midnight Run. We jumped online, we did the research, and what Midnight Run does is they provide clothing and personal hygiene items to the homeless in the New York, New Jersey area. And what they do is they take the students, because they primarily work with students to do this, out to locations within the city. So it's not just here, let's dump a bunch of clothes off at Red Cross or Goodwill. It's no, understand the people you're sharing these clothing with or these personal hygiene items with. There's a story there. There's a connection to be made there. So he came home, he told us about it, and we started doing research on how we can find out to get this done. We found out that Dominican College, right up the street, does a program. So Franklyn reached out to Dr. Sarah, who heads the program there at the college, and he started working with her to organize it, to see what could be done and what he needed to do. And he started with the Pascack Valley, reaching out to the local churches within Pascack Valley, Park Ridge, Hillsdale, and so forth, and some of the grocery stores and other places. And he started collecting clothing and personal hygiene items, and the one storage place he had to put the items was his mother's garage. So she got bumped out of the garage and had to park over the winter now, park outside, and basically filled her garage with clothing and personal hygiene items. And we were shocked at the quantity he got. Franklyn made a point of going to every church, standing in front of the congregation and asking for their support. And they responded. And they responded mightily. And we got so much clothing, we got so many items. Franklyn ended up going on the Midnight Run. It was, I think, the middle of February was the time frame. Coldest day of the year. He had some of the troop with him who went with them on that night, and it was a great success. He was not only able to provide the Midnight Run items for that run, he restocked their pantry of items twice over. He ended up filling a 30-foot truck that was donated to Red Cross, the local Red Cross. He ended up stocking the personal hygiene pantry at OLM with items. So the program from our standpoint was a great success. From the Midnight Run organization, it was a great success. They have items still there. And it was something I really liked in the fact that from my standpoint, from Franklyn's standpoint, he got an opportunity to meet people outside of his little, family and community and see that there for the grace of God go I, and have an understanding of that's why we hand out. That's why we help people who may not be as fortunate as us and get that opportunity to do that. So I don't know what Dr. Sarah will say when she comes in, but I'm saying from the parents' point of view, what we observed, the relationship between Franklyn, Dr. Sarah, and the organization, it was a great success. Thank you.
Thank you, Frank. And if between Franklyn and Linda and yourself, if you see Dr. Sarah arrive, just give me the high sign and we will slot her in. But for now, moving along, our two Eagle Scouts would each like to say a few words to you. And I think, Stefan, you're up first, right? And and Stefan, by the time you're done, you are going to present what the Boy Scouts refer to as the mentor's pin, right, to someone. Good. All right, so Stefan, the microphone and podium is yours.
As a 10-year-old, I was thought to be incapable of performing many activities by both classmates and adults. I was not doing well socially, but things were different in Troop 80. Not only was I treated fairly, I was expected to perform. It was a safe place for me to try and fail at tasks. I was welcomed into the troop camaraderie from scouts 5 years older than me and scouts the same age as me, and I became more open because of this welcoming environment that Troop 80 has and still has. As a result, I became way more involved in all my communities than ever before. I regularly did community service with the troop, whether it was the town picnic, the green team cleanup, or a multitude of Eagle Scout projects, especially the ones who are here. I probably worked on them. Due to the values I learned here, I was also willing to do, more sports and clubs outside of Scouts. And I doubt I would have ever applied to Bergen Tech Teterboro without, that social education from the Scouts. My Eagle Scout project culminated my scouting experience. I worked with the Park Ridge Green Team to create educational signs at a local garden. It felt great that I could create my own project that would benefit my town. As an older scout, my main goal is to create an atmosphere where scouts were encouraged to be themselves and work hard to improve their surroundings, whether at a scouting event, my Eagle Scout project meetings, or in their own communities. Scouting has made a significant difference in my life, and I hope to maintain the values I have learned in college and beyond. Now, I would like to present my mentor pin to my father. He has been involved in scouting all my life, first as a Cub Master in Pack 80. He went to practically every camping trip and troop meeting with me. Most importantly, to the Scouts' parents in the room, he served as the Scoutmasters for many years before Mr. Masson took over. His help was integral in getting the work done for my Eagle project. There is no one more deserving of this pin in my mind.
Great job, Stefan. Great job. And congratulations to Stefan. All right, Franklyn, your turn. And you have a mentor pin, right, to award? Excellent, good. All right, Franklyn.
Hi everyone, thanks for coming. Scouting has been a big part of my life for a long time. It is not a singular effort, and there were many people along the way who have helped me play a big role in my success. First, I would like to thank Mr. Dutcher. When I was a Cub Scout, it was Mr. Dutcher who came to my blue and gold dinner and talked to me about continuing on in Scouts. Coming full circle, it was Mr. Dutcher who guided me through my Eagle Scout process. Then on to Mr. Holstrom, Mr. Grueneis, and Mr. Masson. These leaders have given up countless hours to make each Scout's experience the best. I thank each of them for leading and guiding me. I also want to thank my parents for driving me to all my scouting events and supporting me throughout my career. I learned a lot in scouting that I don't think I would have had the opportunity to learn otherwise. From starting a fire, to pitching my tent in the rain, to cooking. These are all things that now come very easily to me. For my Eagle Scout project, I planned and organized an evening trip into Manhattan on behalf of the Midnight Run, a volunteer organization dedicated to finding common ground between the housed and the homeless. My goal was to collect and distribute food, clothing, blankets, and other items on a run in late January. To accomplish this, I organized a collection of clothing, winter coats, shoes, and personal care items. I led a collection over a 2-month period, speaking at local churches, placing collection boxes in public places like the Park Ridge Library and Municipal Building, and at my school. Once everything was collected, I led a team of scouts and parents and family and friends to sort everything and bag items. I then coordinated a group of scouts, students, and adults to bring everything in Manhattan to deliver the items to homeless men and women. We also brought in a bag dinner of sandwich, fruit, a drink, and a snack that was made and put together the night before. The goal of my project was to help homeless people, but I found it also impacted my own community. So many of the people who donated items were really happy to be able to help out in some way. The volunteers who went into the city were also affected by the difference in how they live and how the homeless people live. It is not an easy life, especially in the winter. The homeless men and women were really glad when we arrived with the things. It was a very cold night, and everyone looks forward to the nights that Midnight Run is coming. In the end, we collected more than I could have imagined. We filled the Park Ridge Community Center with coats, clothing, blankets, shoes, and personal care items. Delivering the items personally with other scouts and parents, as well as Dr. Sarah, is something I will always remember. And lastly, for my mentor pin, I would like to give it to my mom. She's driven me everywhere my entire life, and she supported me with everything I do. She sacrificed so much for me, and I just want to thank her. So.
We have a small number of members of our community who have been long-standing supporters of Troop 80, our Scouts, and of course our Eagle Scouts. And the first one who would like to come up here is Joe Padone. Joe is with the Elks, where we are, but Joe's a big guy. He is the North District Deputy and past Exalted Ruler, right, Joe?
Yes.
So, Joe, would you come up here, say a few words?
I have to tell you, I got up and I actually remembered the Scout Oath and the Scout Law from when I was an Eagle Scout back in 1962. So, and you have a lot to be proud of in this community because I was the only Eagle Scout in my troop. You have a tradition of tremendous success of developing young men. But before I talk a little bit about Stefan and Franklyn, the Elks in general, and I think people don't really understand the true value of what the Elks are all about. But let me give you a quick history in about a minute. We're in our 151st year as an organization. Unbeknownst many, we were the first organization to start a veterans hospital for the United States military. That was the first. We initiated Flag Day, and then when Harry Truman, I believe, the president at the time, who was an Elk, made it a national holiday. We've had 5 United States presidents that were Elks, John F. Kennedy being the last. We've had many people continue to be Elks today, as is Eli Manning and Clint Eastwood, to name a few. Our scholarships range up to $4.3 million annually across the country, and a student who is worthy enough will compete on a level at the district level, then the state level, then the area level. It's all done via computer, and Grand Lodge will pick 20 top students. Well, the top 2 students will receive, after their 1 week of training at Grand Lodge in Chicago, $50,000 a year scholarships for 4 years. So the Elks, in a lot of ways, do a lot of good to a community, and we welcome the fact that we're helping Troop 80 in a small way do what they do best, and that's develop young men. Stefan, Franklyn, one president once wrote, persistence and determination are omnipotent. You have that in both of you, and you will use that as you go along in life, whether it's in college, in professional life, in your personal life, and you'll see, and I found it myself, finding myself back to what I learned as a scout and how it relates to the time and the place that I needed it to help me out in. So I think for the parents, congratulations. It's a great honor to have 2 young men achieve this, and to both of you, on behalf of the Park Ridge Elks, we thank you. We have a little something for you. I'll give it to you a little later. Our certificates were coming in as well from Grand Lodge. They did not get here yet, but I promise you each one, and it's a beautiful Eagle Scout certificate mounted. And I thank you all for having me here tonight.
Thank you, Joe. Joe, I'm only going to correct one thing you said. You said that the Elks, early on, when you're talking, play a small role. The Elks make this room and this facility available to Troop 80 and other civic groups. And I will tell you, that is no small thing, Joe. That's a big deal. And the Scouts and everybody... Okay, next we have Frank Lentino. Frank, you're a Grand Knight with the Knights of Columbus, right? Yes. Excellent.
Good evening. Since I see, according to the program, I seem to be the last speaker of the night, so I promise you, and I'm not a proponent of long-winded speeches, it will be relatively short. So, what is a Boy Scout? As was stated earlier, he's trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. These are not words, they are qualities. It is very telling that we remember those qualities over the years of our lives. These truly are rules to live by. I first learned them over 50 years ago, and they have guided me as I grew up in a world that always seems to have challenges. But this mantra could always be counted on whenever I encountered obstacles, because it reminded me of how to be a good person. And when it comes down to it, good people have a way of looking at challenges that helps them in overcoming them. Today, being a member of the Knights of Columbus, I realize more than ever that these qualities are there to guide my life. As a Knight, these attributes are the backbone of our principles of charity, unity, fraternity, and patriotism. Attaining the rank of Eagle Scout is both an honor and an achievement. You have demonstrated leadership and dedication to scouting. Carry this leadership quality and dedication throughout your educational, career, and home life. The Knights of Columbus and the Boy Scouts are in many ways kindred spirits. We believe in many of the same ideals in making the world we live in a better place. Our Lady of Fatima Council number 4486 of the Knights of Columbus here in Park Ridge congratulates Stefan and Franklyn, the 2019 Eagle Scouts from Troop 80 who are honored here tonight. Please accept these plaques as a token of our recognition of your achievement.
Great. Frank, thank you very much. I see that we have one other Troop 80 alumni with us tonight who happens to be an Eagle Scout. And do you have something there for, you do? Okay. I didn't do anything bad.
I was waiting. Good evening. So, as my dad, Scoutmaster Ken, said, my name is Officer Kyle Dutcher. I'm with the Park Ridge Police Department. I'm a proud alumni of Troop 80, and I just wanted to present 2 certificates on behalf of Chief Madden and the Park Ridge Police Department to really recognize the hard work you guys have done for over the past, 5 years, at least 7 years? About that. I remember I was at their age, their point, standing up there in the front of the room, and I don't know if you guys remember this. I remember you guys first walking in for your first initial meetings. And all of a sudden, it's been close to 7 years later, and here they are. They've worked their butts off, and they're up here right now getting recognition that they absolutely deserve. And all I ask you guys is, you've put forward so much work so far, and please do not stop now. Don't stop now helping out in your community. Don't stop now trying hard in school and in life. You're going to notice you go away to college or any trade school that the other students, they're not going to be like you. They're going to be a little lazy. To put it blankly, they're going to be a little lazy. Don't fall into the trap of, if any college assignments getting it done the last minute. No. Because you guys certainly didn't wait the last minute to do your projects. You didn't wait the last minute to do all your sheets for your Scoutmaster conferences and board reviews. Don't let all the work that you've done evaporate into nothing. And with that, again, I'd really like to say congratulations and keep up the hard work.
Okay, thank you, Kyle. Now, Stephen, I think you've got something. Is that right? Okay. Oh, surprise, not in the script. Yes.
Franklyn and Stefan, it is my pleasure to congratulate you both on earning your Eagle rank. Troop 80 would like to thank you both for the many years that you have served as leaders, mentors, teachers, and fellow scouts. On behalf of the troop, I would like to present each of you with a library edition Boy Scout handbook signed by all of us as a token gift of our appreciation. Thank you for everything you have done.
Very nice, very thoughtful, Scouts. Very nice. Any word from Dr. Sauer? Okay. Rolling on. At this time, Father Joseph Chappell, if you would join us, lead us in a benediction, please.
Thank you for having me. Good to be here. Dear Father in heaven, we give thanks to you for allowing us to be here together for this Eagle Scout Court of Honor for Franklyn and Stefan. We're thankful for the Boy Scouts of America and for the many opportunities it offers to young men to develop skills and friendships, leadership and character, and especially to deepen their faith as they do their duty to God and country, remaining mentally awake and morally straight. We ask your continued blessings on Franklyn and Stefan, especially that they continue to strive to be trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent, recognizing that reverence to God crowns the other 11 virtues of the Scout Law. And we ask that you continue to bless Troop 80, bless the Boy Scouts of America, and to bless our great country. And may all of us here present receive the grace and the zeal to serve you in a way that is pleasing to you. Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Father Joe, very much. All right, I have, I don't know, I guess I'll call it a statement from the Falbys and the Grueneises. So, on behalf of Frank and Linda and Aaron and Christoph, they would like to extend their thanks to all the Troop 80 families who came before them and who are here with us tonight. Their support is truly appreciated. Next, they would like to thank everybody who helped set up and assure good hospitality today. I will tell you, for many years, we have also Scoutmaster Emeritus Dan Antical with us. Dan was Scoutmaster for 5 or 6 years before me. And Dan, well, Dan, stand up and wave. Yeah, take a bow. So Dan, we're talking about going back like 15 years, right?
Yes.
Not quite the dinosaurs, but, a long time. And the point here is the reciprocal support among the Troop 80 families is truly one of this troop's finest traditions, and it is heartwarming to Dan and myself to see it continue. By the way, I stepped down as Scoutmaster in 2012, so a long time ago. Just great, just a great tradition. Many thanks to everybody who helped in some capacity, any capacity, with today's Court of Honor. It is a lot of work to put on an event like this. I think it's gone flawlessly, and kudos to everybody who had a hand in that. And lastly, the families would like to thank all of you for taking time out of your busy days and schedules for sharing in the celebration this evening of Stefan and Franklyn. So please, after we retire the colors, don't head for the parking lot. There's coffee, refreshments. Don't go behind the bar. And please wait until the colors are retired. Dr. Sarro, no? Not yet. Okay. There'll be a coffee clutch, that's all. All right. So if I could ask our senior patrol leader, Stephen, please come back up. And if you would please have the scouts retire the colors. Thank you, Stephen.
Thank you.
How about one more round of applause?
Everyone, please rise for the retirement of the colors. Color guard, retrieve the colors. Thank you.